The finest of all creations in the world, the heavens and the earth, human beings are the purest form. And Allah says that I am the source for them. I am the inspiration for them. And there is none in the world who can surpass the creation of the finest of creations I have made above all the creations. Not that I cannot create even a finer form than a human being, but as of now, you can take the human beings as the beautiful of all creations, powerful of all creations. So, as human beings, we all know, yes, we are the greatest creation by the Creator in this entire universe. This is the basic of this Veda is given to all of us, irrespective of which community, which religion we belong to. It is we who have separated ourselves into different communities. In reality, you are one nation, one soul. You are of different kinds, but there is one soul which is the fulcrum of your life. The basic Veda is that you are the finest creation and you have nearness to Allah, you have means to get near to Him, and Allah is nearer to you. The meaning of Allah is there is none but Him who created you. Before your creation, He created the universes and He made your life therein in a splendorous form. There is nothing to match it even in your fairest dreams. It is impossible for you to dream. The world He has created for you. Our nature is that we have reduced ourselves, we have lowered ourselves to such a standard that we are the meanest of all creations. We have lost our Veda. The basic, just remember, we are the finest of all creations. It is there in everyone's mind. How is it possible that after you have understood you are the finest of all creations, that we separate into different categories and communities, caste and tribes, and then we demean one another and we praise one another? How is it possible? As long as we are in this line, in this arrogance, that I am superior to you, and if one belittles himself, considering before another person who is arrogant and proud that I am below you, both ways we are doing a wrong thing. We are on par with each other. Master is Allah, the none but Him. You will keep remembering the word Allah as the none but Him, the none but Him. This is the basic purity if you want to worship the God. To you, no one is inferior to me, and we are all on the same plane. If only you believe Allah is the only ruler, Allah is the only creator above you, and He is your guide, there is no way that we will be transforming us into a different height and different level. You are expected to move upwards, not forwards. You are not to graze the earth, but you are to elevate yourself in dignity and honor, and you are to be raised in oneness with the command. Allah is watching us, Allah is keen upon us. This is the word from Him. Remember me, revere me, and fear me. You are always wrong. We are all wrongdoers, so fear me. Know this. Whether you know or you do not know, there is a fear I have given to you as your nature about your tomorrow. About today, I have given you stress and worry. You do not know how to lead the rest of the day. You do not know how to lead the rest of your life tomorrow. So there is worry and fear, which is uncultivated, unknown to you, but therein is your fear, which I have cultivated. Keep it in your heart as an inherent one for all your future. This will be your guidance. The more you fear, the more your mind will be applied to the future. The more you are worried, the more you are trying to improve your life further than how you are now, then the worry goes. Without your empowering, improving yourself upon what you stand, definitely the fear and the worry will never go out of your mind. The fear and worry is the cause of all your diseases, all your encumbrances in day to day life. Do not get disheartened by whatever bad omen befall you, whatever wrong things that you're expecting. Stay away from all your incorrect behavior. Behave appropriately, that will be well appreciated by God. What is the appropriate behavior? We are living in total inappropriateness. This is where we are doing a wrong thing. We know that we do not know anything, but we pose as if we know everything. This is not Veda. Veda means that you do not know how to conduct your life from this moment onwards. How you will be guided, by what you will be guided. You know well that God is the only guide and He will guide us, and I have to be guided by Him. You know all these things, but you don't give a thought to it. No one can conduct me, and I can conduct myself. These are the two things that we have in our mind, one opposing the other. So we are opposite to ourselves, we are opposing ourselves, we are acting against ourselves all our life, all our moments. Like this, we are leading a better life. How is it possible? The soul will give you the answer. Whenever you suffer illness, definitely you are trying to understand first what is the reason behind it, why I am suffering. This is what God gives you in your heart. Find out the reason first. The reason is unseen because you do not know how an affliction to you, how you are suffering now, you do not know. But God says there's definitely a way by which you have brought all your miseries upon yourselves. It is wrought by your own hands. You worked as a wrong thing in the earlier days. Now it is time for you to harvest it. How are you going to disprove this? Definitely, if I suffer a disease, definitely it is because what I had done to me. You are trying to understand what happened because you know that it is you who have brought it upon yourself. Then you find out. But I'm not able to find out. I have some allergies, some skin rashes, something like that. I'm just now thinking about what I had eaten. There's nothing you will prevent. There's nothing you had done as a wrong thing by way of you were taking food, but something else is there. Because all your restrictions that you place upon yourself as this is not good for me, this is not agreeing to me, and this causes allergy to me. All those things. Finally, you don't eat anything, you don't drink anything, and you will also wear a mask not to breathe anything from the outside environment. This is what your final end. You will stop breathing and you will die. Your medicine is finally taking you to the graveyard, not for your longevity, with a blissful, beautiful life. We know this, all of us know this. This is Veda. Veda is there in the soul of your hearts, soul of your chest. Everyone has the same Veda. Medicine survives you, or God's allowance, blessing makes you survive on this earth. Which is right. You will know for sure it is God's mercy that makes me live on this earth. Then what happened to your brain? What happened to your knowledge? Why was it given to you? You are inferior to God. Unless God helps you, you cannot live. Unless He inspires me, there's no inspiration for me as an inducement for my next moment's life. This is the truth that everyone possesses in each one's heart. This is Veda. Each one is giving the Veda, is given the Veda, and by the Veda, there is an inherent relationship between you and the Almighty God. Without the Veda, without the principles of the Veda, without the truth of Veda, you are not going to find out what is good for you, what is wrong for you. Staying by the justice, preserving myself upon the justice. I am in oneness with the God's command, and I see another person equitably. There is no aggression on me to think that I am superior to anyone. Allah doesn't like those who are oppressive, those who are aggressive, transgressing all the limits of being a human being to one another, but make themselves superior to another, thus transgressing the limits of the tolerance of Allah. You will know for sure Allah means the none but Him. This is the meaning of Allah. The none but Him for everyone. Everyone say, the Veda will speak to them, there's none but Him. What do you mean by that none but Him? In every requirement of you, unless His help comes, unless there is an intuition from Him and inspiration from Him, you have no life this moment, next moment. Fear Him all the time, but we do not fear, yet we are surviving. That is in absence of our thinking, in absence of our appreciation, we are living. This is a grave mistake on our part. Appreciate godliness in you all the time. That is making you live somewhat a better life. We will be in a grievous life, suffering to an extent that we will not be able to survive on this earth. With such agony, with such torment, we will not be able to live on this earth. Our life will be eliminated, or we will eliminate our lives. Suicide, that happens in so many people, in the wealthy people, in the poor people. The heart loses its strength to survive. That means God's word of your mercy, God's word of blessings on you has stopped. What is the blessing and mercy? You will live for tomorrow. Whether you like it or not, whether you have means or not, you will live for tomorrow. I take it. I want to live. I have the wish for it. This removes your worry. This removes your fear. I want to live. I will live. How do you say? You are answering God without knowing any means of life tomorrow. I have some confidence in me that I say I will live. That confidence must go. Hope must come. Hope for tomorrow must be replaced by the confidence of life that I have as knowledge. This will pave way for me for tomorrow. What is awaiting you tomorrow? How sure we are that we will be living tomorrow using our knowledge. You are going to die when the night comes. You will fall asleep. You are going to be brain dead as the night falls. And you will be given life again in the next morning. Do you know what will happen in the night? You do not know because you are dead. Do you know what is happening when you are in sleep? You do not know you are dead. And who raises you up again? It is God. When you wake up, you praise God's glory that His word is true. His word is true. Every moment we blink our eyes, the word is true. I am dying and I am surviving. I am awakened. I am dying and I am raised up again. Every single moment, every blinking is equal to the night, and every opening of the eyes is akin to the daytime life. So when we are deep in sleep, when we are having a momentary sleep, it is all the same. We are refreshed, we are dead, and we are raised up again. This is how we will understand our whole life. He is giving us rebirth again, dying, and He's raising up again. And this is happening every moment. I am dying and then opening at the blinking of an eye. This is how I will understand. This is Veda. Next moment, I do not know, right? When you close, you don't open up your eyes. This is how the death occurs. He closed his eyes and he fell down. After that, he didn't wake up. It is not that I'm dying and then closing my eyes. Close your eyes and then you're dead. He captures your life dead, and He captures your life when you are in sleep. This is what Allah says to us. This is 660. He captures your life in your death, life when you are in sleep. So He knows what is happening between your death and your coming back to life. Death and then He giving you a rebirth. This is happening all through. Who is there to object to this or say a second word against this? Who can disapprove of this truth? No one. Are we now going to understand God alone is making us live, making us survive in this world? He alone is raising up every moment when we are blinking, and a new world is created for us, for each one's life. Each one has a life, each one has a different world for himself. There's not a single world. This is where we will understand from this moment onwards. We might have forgotten it, but once it is clarified to you, once it is given a thought, definitely you will understand maybe there is some truth in it. Unless you give a thought to yourself, there's no inherent capacity. There's no capacity for you to survive on this earth. That inherent capacity and power must be generated from within, that I am being survived. Only by God. I am surviving because of His mercy and blessing. Will we accept now this? Yes. And we know that God is one, who created the heavens and the earth. But we say that God is multiple. There are different gods, various gods for everything. God is one. For all your requirements, He is the one. He created you from nothingness. So you are nothing. From nothingness, can you create anything? You can create a model, you can create even a clay pot. From nothingness, can you create a clay pot? Everything God has created. Can you create anything? Can you invent a thing even in your wildest dreams? Cannot. You are taking some clue from whatever you know of knowledge of the available substances, then you think over it and try to innovate and invent certain things which are all ghostly. It has got no form, no shape, no life to it, but it is a ghost-like thing. You imagine it that you had created something, you invented something, and you think you are on par with God. You create a statue, you give eyes, nose, and ears, but it cannot see, it cannot breathe, it cannot hear. You have a chest, it cannot understand anything. Creation. Lifeless, deadly creations, which is pleasing to your eyes, by which you think that you are the possession of the worldly wealth that you had invented and you had created. The more you possess of the worldly pleasures, you think you are great. God is the greatest one. He is the greatest one, and you are the meanest one. If you Him and say, I can also create, I can also put anyone to death. It is not so. If you think you put yourself to death and then try to revive yourself again, can you? God creates you. You have not created yourself. If you think you had created yourself, you die and rise up again. Prove yourself. But He created you from nothingness. Now you have so much, such a big body, 6-footed body. You have die and then create yourself. Try if it's possible that you are the creator. No one can do that. But we boast as if we are inventing. We are living on our own. We have every means of survival on this earth. Whatever be the calamities around us, we are arrogant to the core. We are transgressing all the limits of your own knowledge. That knowledge, let it be a basic one. He is the creator. He makes me live. This basic knowledge, if we have, this will pave way for the future unseen world. We can never explore the unseen world. This is how we are to survive on this earth. Every moment will be a momentous life. It is not a life of the past. We are boasting as living the life of our past. Life, whatever I had lived yesterday, the same life I am living. I am going backward as the days progress ahead of me. As the days are dawning before me, I am living in the past. The same knowledge, the same way I lived, I am living today. There must be a change in my life. Every moment there must be a change, progressive change. Move forward and elevate yourself. Don't lead your life step by step, just like a toddler. Don't leap upon the surface of the earth, but rise up high. Rise up high. Heavens are so high, infinitely. Raise up your standards of living. So remember, your understanding of the unseen things will take you up further and further, will raise you up. If you go with the knowledge, you'll be only grazing the ground, on plane with the ground. Don't live on the plains and plain. I don't want a plain life. I want a improved, advanced. I want a higher standard in my understanding and ability. I will be cognizant of all things from heavens down to earth, in a position to command whatever is unseen to me, whatever is hidden to me. Suppose I have an unseen nature in me that I am happy now. Do you know how you are happy? What makes you happy? No unforeseen things are around me. Everything I wanted is present before me. I am happy. At the same time, suddenly, when unhappiness strikes you, you're suddenly aggrieved of something, you're suddenly fearful of something, and that sadness and worry gets deeper and deeper. Something is troubling me. It is not something. God makes you think that the one moment you are joyful, the next moment you are sad. You don't know the reason for the joyness. You don't know the reason for your immersing, drowning in your sadness. No reason at all. For no reason, I'm suddenly becoming sad. It's not for no reason. God makes you think. On the one side, your joyfulness, on the other side, sadness, changing and alternating with each other. One moment of joyfulness is not the same as the next moment of joyfulness and happiness. One moment of sadness that is going to happen in the next blink of an eye. That sadness is different. Things are growing, things are differing, things are changing. Understand whether you are living acutely or you are already dead. Veda is the same thing. Whatever I am speaking is from Veda. No one is opposing this, even in their heart. Things are happening. You have to believe in the unseen about your nature of your heart. Why it is sad, why it is worrying, why it is fearing, why it is aggrieved, why it is not happy, why it is joyful now. All things are given as only a test unto you. Whether whether you think about it and seek the truth behind it or not. Travel in the unseen. Your heart is more important than your body. This is Veda. The unseen forces acting on you is more important than the visible things that is surrounding you. This is Veda. When you read the book Veda, you try to understand what is hidden in it. To our knowledge, it is not Veda. What is hidden behind it is the Veda. Get into the unseen. Understand. Comprehension is important. Permeating depths of the opaque things, that is formed things, making everything transparent to your eyes so that you can see things clearly, nature clearly, and you can explore anything easily. Unless you give a thought, there is no transparency to us. God is there to see what you are, who you are, because He has that permeation. He has that understanding. He is the creator. You understand. Understanding is different from what I know. I know the dictionary meanings of the languages. Understand what it is. A language I am reading, but I have to permeate it. I have to encompass everything. The dictionary knowledge is what you know already. You have written in the dictionary form. Taking the meaning from your dictionary is not the answer to your Veda. It's not a clarity to your Veda. It's not the knowledge from Veda. Understand. Remove the dictionary and then try to give a thought to it what it is. Suppose there, I know sadness means what would the dictionary say? Not in good self. That's it. What is self? What is good? I do not know. Everything you see as a tangible one, perceptible one, it is absolutely not correct at all as long as you go by the meanings that is there in the dictionary. You have put into the dictionary your own knowledge, worldly knowledge. Veda is not for the worldly knowledge. Veda is for what God is going to bestow upon you as His nature, encompassing you, surrounding you. His nature is surrounding you. Now He will teach you from nothingness how you will have to behave. Take everything in the right perspective. God will help you. That's for what I need God. I am seeing you all, but I do not know what is in their hearts. Me, you do not know what is definitely inside of me. Whether anything is sadness that is lurking in me, or any good things is still there for all time to come. What is there as grounded within me, nobody knows. I am seeing, but I have to understand what I am seeing. Unless you revere God, you have nothing to think about anything. As long as your thought goes about material things, it is not at all a thought. It is only a conjuring. Imagining things, suggesting yourself, all counterfeited ones. False hope and false behaviors will not do us any good. Hope and behavior make us false people. Belief and faith make us righteous ones. So believe in whatever you wanted. It is not before you. What you want is to please your heart, not to satisfy your body. Unseen life is what is given to you, though you have such a beautiful visible form. This unseen life will remove you from all your wrongdoings, erroneous thoughts, all your indecency, and put you in the right sense, that is in appropriateness, that you will appreciate of God instead of appreciating yourselves. You'll be removed from all your pride and arrogance. You will never transgress. So we'll have a transformation, making everything transparent for us by the grace of Allah, the none but Him. Allah means the none but Him. You will understand. Keep on remembering. The more you remember the none but Him, the none but Him, you know every single wish or desire or even lust you may have. When you say the none but him, the evil and the lust will be removed and goodness will be added to it. It will become a beautiful wish for you for the days to come. And every day you will be beautifully living by the mind, not by the body. Your mind will keep on improving and raising, elevating you to a greater plane than living by your thoughts, which takes you to your bodily pleasures, advances you much harsher in the process of your acquiring things to satisfy your bodily pleasures. It is not for the bodily pleasures, but it is to the satisfaction of one's mind and to the life that we want for our entire life. You want peace or you want joy? Joy is a very visible material thing. It is pleasing your five bodily senses. It is satisfying my heart for my entire future. Joyfulness is very temporary. Peace is lifelong. And thereafter also, we do not know where it will end. So we call it as an eternity. We do not know. If I say, I do not know how I am going to be live tomorrow, whether it is going to be good or not, I am fearing him. The next day, because of my fear, given a life of peace, that means I have started living eternally. What I do not know is eternal, infinite. What I know of is finite. After that, nothing. If you go by what you know of, you're already dead. If you go by what you do not know and fear God, then the next moment is an eternal life. You are entering into infinite bliss that God has promised for you. Will we abide by that? This is Veda. You read any Veda, if it has got substance, it will take you to a level that you start thinking about it, revering it. That means you are leading an eternal life. You are understanding the truth. You have already transformed yourself into a far off destination, endless. Let us travel in this pathway. You read your weather and find out what is hidden behind it. Chapter 29, verse number 45. Recite. Recite the first word in that sentence. Bring your citation of the past today. You have not lived your life in the past, God saved your life. If you are worried today, the same worry was there in your earlier stages. But that worry did not strike you. Even if the worry smites you, get out of it. Not you. If you had delivered yourself out of the trouble, why do you fear now? Why do you worry now? So come to the past and then remember things from where you were delivered every night and day, at the every blinking of eyes. You are delivered to a greater level and you are living today as an improved formation. I'm not getting old, I'm improving. Your body is getting old. Body is not important. Mind will never get old. Mind will be always refreshed. If you consider your body is the main thing for your survival, and then you suffer mentally and you become a mentally wreck when you grow old, and you will suffer Alzheimer's also. You will remember nothing. Before you forget everything, start remembering today. Bring your past and cite it today and start reciting. Cite and recite, remember again and again. This recitation is important. In your dictionary, recitation means something say, something read. That's it, over. Don't take to dictionary, take to the hidden meanings. Get into the livelier part of your dictionary. Dictionary is mundane. Dictionary is dead language. Don't give any importance to your grammar that makes the language even more rigid. There's only one way of understanding. There's no other way of understanding. Remove commas, punctuations, your dictionary, lexicon, everything remove, and try to understand every word. Thereafter, even the whole thing is in a jumble, you will know definitely this is what it means. You can write a sentence in jumbled manner, no dictionary, nothing. If you know every word, the meaning of every word, you will understand what exactly the sentence means. That takes you to the inner nature. Inner nature means unseen formation. So recite what has been revealed to you of the book. So we are remembering Veda now. We are being revealed of what Veda is. And we are trying to understand the abstract nature of everything. We will never go by the dictionary. We will never go by what other man's preaching, and we will never appreciate the idea of another person. We will understand as an individual from my own recitation, from my own past, and from my own present reciting it and trying to correct my ways and take my ways in an unseen path. So the Veda will be opened and reopened for me. This is how I will be conducting my life in the path of God in the coming days, coming moments. I will never go by the people's standards. I will never go by my own standard. I will never go by the preachings of the people, whether they may be a priest or pujari or imam. They are not a concern for me at all. Will we abide by this? Yes. The moment I start thinking, I want to know what I do not know. When I am thinking about whatever I know, and thereafter with the knowledge I am progressing, definitely you are definitely decreasing. Your future is very bleak. All materials will die. You base your thought on the materials and trying to think only in the lines of creating a material, inventing a material. This will never do any good to you. Create with the help of the Creator, and the heavens and the earth belong to you, and they will abide by your needs. Your lust and desire will be removed, the evil nature of it will be removed, and the purity of your wish and will be retained in your heart. So now you have an inherent nature in you without your knowledge. With that knowledge alone, you are living today in a peaceful manner. When the joy strikes you, you are in a bad stage. Joy is striking you. Don't think joy is good for you. Joy is making you forget. Joy is an intoxication. Peace is reviving you from intoxication. But people are thinking joy is most important for us. Joyful life is important for us. Don't follow the people. Don't follow the ideologies. Follow only the truth. Don't conceive anything. Your perspective is good. Your prospects are good. What is given to your heart is from the creator of the Veda. Have a beautiful life, blissful life, peaceful life, and fear me, so that nothing of it will be taking away from you. You will not be falling short of your wish and will, the God given promise. Don't allow any of the God given blessing pass away, pass by without your notice and without your living by it. And fear, not a moment shall pass without the understanding, without the recitation, without grabbing the blessings of God that is going in an unseen form, that which if I am able to grasp, that will have a formation within me. I will be transforming to a higher standard and higher rank. When you are transforming, the invisible things become submissive to you. When you go by the material thing, all the invisible things will never hear you at all. your inner things just feel your sadness. You want to get rid of your sadness, it's impossible for you. You want to be hale and hearty, it is impossible for you. It is in the unseen form. But you believe only in the medicine, only in the food, only in your dresses, only in your pleasure, worldly pleasures, and whatever is in and shape and sizes, which has no life at all, you go by it and you think that you are plentifully endowed. As long as there's no life in anything that you possess, there's nothing for you to possess it. If I have the worldly pleasures, a crystal, a diamond, or whatever you may think of, even the heaps of gold, definitely it has no life in it, so I don't want it. If there's a plant, definitely there's a life in it. I may use it and throw because everything once created, it is progressing towards death. So use it as much as possible, as early as possible, and throw it away as a disposable thing. Don't keep anything, whatever you possess as material in material form for all your life, and don't think that it is going to save your life. Is going to come along with your life in a way that it is going to be pleasing to your eyes. Everything will come down. Everything will be aging. Everything will be destroyed one day. So anything that you have as freshness in you, if you consider it has got no life at all, the moment a plant is plucked, it has got no life now. Use it early as possible in its fullest liveliness, and then throw it away. But whatever you're eating, whatever you're consuming is old ones, preserved ones, which is deprived of all its liveliness. This is the reason, definitely, why you are not taking up the health, why you are not caring for your health, why your health is deteriorating. It is because you are taking old things, stored up things, which has already lost its liveliness. You think that with that you can live forever. Forever you will be suffering ill health. Nothing will be agreeable to your digestion. No liveliness will be given to you out of it because there's no life at all in whatever you think, whatever you have as your uh, food or as your subsistence. Nothing is going to be of any help to you. Suppose you have your money now, think that you are going to live with that forever. That life is, you come to your deeper sense, read the Veda from what is there within. Your medicine is going to give you life? No. Your money will give you life? No. Why? It has got no life in it to give you life. But will the food give you life? Yes. In the fresh form, it will give you life on old and stale things that has been dried up for due to the long storage. If you take that, it is going to give you life? No. So how do you give life to the non-material things? By believing it. Abstract things, I believe, giving life to it so that it gives life to me, it comes my way. I don't have to go and search for it. What is unseen to you, you cannot search. It has to come to me. I want air. I cannot go in search of air. Air must come to me. I want water. I cannot go in search of water. I want food. I cannot go in search of it. It must grow from the clay. It must grow from the sand. The soil must be good. And who creates all your requirements from below and from above and from around? It is godliness, the God's power by His command. So you will have the command upon the unseen. If only you have the command upon the unseen, and God will give you from whatever you wanted because He has the command. He listens to you and places the command. Then and there, instantly, you will be having whatever you wanted on this earth. You want to believe or you don't want to believe. If you believe, you will be rising up. You don't believe, you won't rise up. You will be falling dead and you will get buried into the ground. Go for water underneath, go for air also underneath. Methane, gas, everything is there. And start living by it. Under the earth, whatever gas you find, it is definitely inflammable. You go above, it is cool, unpleasant. If you go underneath the ground for water, it is already dead water. Not a fish will be there. When you come up, even the fishes will come down along with the rain. Nature that you want. You want everything from the unseen. I want air from the unseen above. I want the water from unseen above. I want food also from the unseen. Heavenly things above me. Now come to this. Whatever you have understood of the Veda, recite. Whatever you have now understood about the Veda, a part of it has become inherent in you as yourself, as a belief, yes. You have the inherent capacity to say, if there is a God, once they are asked, they say, yes, there is a God. That is inherent in me. I believe there is no need for a second thought. Likewise, there are so many truths in you to believe, and there's no need for the second thought to be given to it. That is your nature. From that nature, you speak to others. Without your conscience, you are living by it. That becomes my inherent nature. You are consciously living, you are putting all your effort into it to understand the nature, understand the truth, and then living by it so that God's help might come to you and you will be in a better form. Conscientiously, I am doing certain things. You're putting in your effort, well appreciated by God, because you want to lead your life in the unseen belief, believing in the unseen. And the unseen is so near to you because you started believing the unseen. He comes to you. He is so near to you. If I am saying this because I am understanding His help and protection, whenever I need His help and protection, it is coming my way. I don't have to go in search of whatever I am looking for. Allah is so close to you, the none but Him. Who knows the unseen? The none but Him, Allah. Al means the, La means none, who means Him, the none but Him. Is there any word equivalent to this? If there's an equivalent word to this Allah, definitely anybody can follow that word, but I am sure there's not an equivalent word to Allah. If you want to near God, come near to God and seek from God. Unless you have that purity in mind, there's no association to Him, there's no equivalent to Him. I, superior most one, and He is the only one, there's none but Him, like unto Him. With this, without this purity, you can never think about God, you can never explore the unseen, which if you know alone, you can keep your heart in a pure form, keep your heart in a blissful nature, keep your heart in a believing nature. So you will not have any fear or worry. That believing nature must have in my heart. Unless you think, unless you try to understand the unseen from the seen things. All seen things, all visible things will be dying, will be dead one day, and it is already progressive towards death. I will never be thinking anything, whatever is in the material form. I am only thinking about something that's non material that will come to life because I am believing the unseen. God says that I bring forth life from the dead, I bring forth the death from the living. It is in chapter 3, verse number 26. He brings to life from the unseen, and He brings death from the visibility. Whatever visible, I bring death to it. Whatever unseen, there is something that is unseen in everything that I am seeing. If He wishes, He will come back to life. Everyone knows Moses, Moses, Moses. He was having a staff with him for walking. When he comes to God, God asks, "What is that you have in your right hand?" I say, "This is my staff. I can pluck the leaves for my sheep, and I can lean onto it when I'm tired. That's all. Throw it away." When he throws it, it becomes a snake, moving snake. And he runs away. He calls him, "Don't run away. Catch him, catch it. It'll regain its original position in my name." When you believe in me, nobody can be fear of anything if they are believers. Things can touch you. Even if things come to you, it will go away. Believe me, you cannot believe today, but slowly you will acquire this belief, and with that belief, you will possess that mighty power of myself, and I am the one to give you the power from within me. And that within me, don't give you a shape and size to me, don't give you a form to me, and say that I'm a human being like you. I'm the creator of the heavens and the earth. You never imagine how I will be. Imagine that I am with you, so close. If you believe in the unseen, things will happen. So you see anything material, give life to it because of my belief. You are believing in the money, give life to you so that you will start spending your money. Let it move. Like a staff of Moses moves when he throws it away. You give the money, it will move back to you. It will come back to you in greater amount with full of life so that it will not stay dead in your enclosures. It will come out of it and you will start spending it without any without any worry. What will happen if I spend all my money? What will happen tomorrow? No worry will touch you because it keeps coming to you in the way that you do not know, from a direction that you do not know, where from your source you do not know. But as you are spending, it is free filling. As you are spending more, it will be overflowing. The more you spend, you are giving life to it because you believe in the unseen that He is my provider, sustainer, not this money or my work or my ability. My ability is already wearing down. It is having a bearing down effect on me already. I am going to be in the lead your life in this way. I am going to be a reciter. I am bringing in everything that has happened in the past as good for me, as beautiful things for me. It is not from me. That I understand. This is recitation. Today's position, I'm not going to earn anything unless He gives. This is reciting my own past to the present, and from the present to the future, I want to leap up. So, chapter 29, verse 45, whatever you possess as an inherent quality, pure quality, it is from the Veda, your nature has acquired it, and your nature is changed, transformed into a level of understanding tomorrow, understanding your whatever you have in your heart much better way, and transform yourself to the future in an unseen form. I am already living in the future today. Whatever I wish today, whatever the deep wish I have in me, I believe I am already on the target. Today I am living in tomorrow. If I believe, if I disbelieve, then I am living today. And I am already dead also. I am moving backwards because I believe in my knowledge. My knowledge will not pave way for the future, definitely. It is very well understood. With your knowledge, you are suffering today. In your heart, that is in your mind, as well as in your bodily senses, you are suffering already. So many senses are not working now. Your heart will forget you soon, and you will become a forgotten person. You will forget yourself, becoming Alzheimer's disease person, forgetting myself. Don't take status to such a low. You will not forget any good things that has happened to you, but you will forget all bad things that has happened to you. Forget what? My own knowledge saved me, you'll forget it. God's wisdom, God's mercy and blessing saved me. That's what you will understand. I am surviving today because God's help. I am not breathing, taking into consideration the calculation of the medical standards. You have to breathe 16 to 20 times, 22 times in 1 minute. Then you are hell and hearty. This is the medical standards. Suppose I keep a watch and 1 minute is over. One breathing in, one breathing out. This is one respiration. 16 to 22 times I have to breathe there. If I calculate this and start living, I am dead now. Oh, I have breathed only 10 times now. Next minute, I have to increase it 10 times, 32 minutes, I have to breathe. Then I have surpassed 40 times I have breathed. Now I have to bring it down to 6 times only for 1 minute, you are dead now. Go by this standard. My heart must beat only 72 times per minute. If I calculate that, what life you have now? If you see my heart rate, it will be at least 80 or 90. Then only I can bring out that inherent nature, inherent feel. That feel will control your heartbeat. If you are angry, that feel will increase your heartbeat. If you are calm and beautifully possessed, I am self-possessing, definitely my heart rate will be slower. If you look into 72 per minute, then I am already worried. Whether your mind controls your heart or your heart controls your mind, which one shall control what? Mind shall control the heart and all bodily organs. The reverse of it will not hold good for us. So where are we now? We are now having certain Veda, certain truth inside us, and that's become inherent. I am living by that. If you don't live by that Veda, and that inherent quality is gone from you are dead now, you are a diseased person, you are afflicted with so much of disease, you have only suffering without your hope. You are a hopeless person to yourself, and you are waiting for your death. And the death will not come, you will be suffering. You will be seeking from someone, put me to death, and there's no help for you. Someone to put you to death. The law will stop you. You must survive painfully. We don't want anyone's help in this world. So speak from that Veda to others. Don't speak from your knowledge. Don't speak from whatever you know of as truths based on the material life. You say the truth is that unless you have money, you have no survival on this earth. Unless you have peaceful heart, you have no survival. Which one is true? Speak to other person when they are poor, don't lose heart. Don't speak to him unless you earn the money, you will have no life. Don't speak that. So recite from the Veda, whatever you know of. This is the first sentence of that verse 29th, chapter 45. So recite what has been revealed to you, inspired to you, delivered to you from the book. This is the book, not your dictionary, not your other books. Other books might have been written by human beings, but it will not match a single word in. You read the Veda now. Yeah, for everyone, this is a recital. Quran means recital. Quran means speaking the truth. Quran means understanding whatever you know of, making you give a better understanding, better clarity. So have a clear future with clarity of thought so that you have a distant vision. When you have the distant vision, you are already living in the future, you are unmindful of today's nature. So let our life begin today in a manner God has wished for you. God is with you, and that is inherent nature. God is one, that is inherent quality. Recite to others so that you will not follow any damn thing that the people have set up as pathways, especially the pujaris, imams, and the clerics. We will not follow the priesthood. We will follow God straight. God is there in your heart. From that inherent quality, start building up your and start living in the paradises God has promised for you. With this, we will end up today's class.